A lot of times we are often seen as the linchpin because most consumers know us first. So a lot of these other people we're going to talk about actually will come to you to generate income. All right? Most people think I got to buy a house, better call a realtor. Very few people think I got to buy a house, better call a home inspector. They call us first. All right? So a lot of these other people here you will see deal with us. To broker real estate in Indiana, to buy, sell, trade, lease, exchange, manage, list, rent, consult, or refer, you need a license in Indiana. Now, Indiana works under what's called a unified license, meaning our license that you're getting today will allow you to do residential, commercial, leasing, property management, all of it. Some states are different.
How come they got away from sales agents?
Back in 2014 and prior to that, we used to have two licenses called a salesperson and a broker. The commission thought that there was a lot of misconception with the consumer not understanding the word sales agent or salesperson. And they kept saying, oh, we want a real estate broker. So what they did is they just eliminated that license so that now we can all say we are brokers. All right? Used to be sales agent, salesperson, then you took a second class to become a broker. Now we go straight from unlicensed straight to a broker. So everybody can say I'm a real estate broker. So basically it was a conceptual concept so the consumer, when they talk to you, and we're going to talk about another term here in a minute that you're going to have confusion with. I'm sure whatever I was saying was important a minute ago. Thank goodness I got my license. Whew. A lot of times you will hear the term licensee too. A licensee is a generic person. That could mean any level. So a lot of terms in the book, you'll see here it's called a licensee would be anybody that's got a license. We are licensed. The next person that we're going to talk about is the appraiser. The appraiser is a licensed individual. They have to go to school. The appraisers are often seen as the smartest one of the group because they have to go to so much math and so many hours and all of that, okay? The question I always ask them is, they get about $400 for an appraisal, where my last commission was $7,000. Who's smarter? And we do a lot less hours than they do. The appraiser is the one person that you will have zero interaction with. The banking industry, over the change in the last couple years, has done this on purpose so that you can't influence an appraisal on one of your properties. What they don't want is for someone to say, hey, Mr. Appraiser, if this appraises, I got a pair of Colts tickets for you. All right? So the only interaction you're going to have with an appraiser, literally, is when you get a phone call and you're going to hear, hi, I'm Bob the appraiser, I need to get in the house. Bingo, that's it. You don't know when it's coming. You don't know where it's coming from. That's it. They do not want you to interact, and they do that on purpose. That benefit has caused a huge problem. What's the old saying? I'm from the government. I'm here to help. All right? Because that idea of removing the influence has now caused the problem of the appraiser that's now sent to appraise your home in Center Grove is from Fort Wayne. Yeah. So he doesn't really understand Center Grove. Or who said they were in Broad Ripple? Yeah, that's another one. Nobody understands Broad Ripple unless you're from Broad Ripple. You know? So that way to reduce the interference has caused another problem in us. And you guys will see that in this business. There's a lot of, well, the appraiser didn't get the number we needed or couldn't. Well, he may not have understood Center Grove properties or Broad Ripple properties or, yeah. Yeah, appraisals in Broad Ripple are tough. What's the other one? I could have, it's right down by Arsenal Tech High School. Woodruff Place. You guys know where Woodruff Place is? $600,000 house here, $6,000 house here. The next block. Trust me, I owned one on that. You know, literally our backyards, I could throw a baseball from my fence to their fence. His was listed at $600,000. I paid $6,000 for that house. It's on Tecumseh. It's the next road right beside it. So you get that kind of problems. Property management is a license required activity. In Indiana, it's a license we're getting now. So we can manage property when we're done. All right? When you get your license, you'll be able to manage property. Some states are different. Nevada. We have a brokerage in Nevada. To manage property in Nevada, you needed a property management add-on license to your brokerage license. So some states are different. Indiana's unified. We can do everything. Buy, sell, trade, lease, exchange, manage, list, rent, consult, refer, all of that with one license. And that's the license you are getting. Okay? Financing. Financing is a license required activity. It's always seen as the stepbrother because if you can, yeah, I got a pull so I can get a license. All right? It's like a 24-hour course, 20-hour course. You get it on Friday, you do it over the weekend, you're licensed on Monday. I'm not picking on people. It's called a loan originator's license or an LO. Anytime you lend somebody else's money, you have to have a loan originator's license. All right? Now, I want to cover something here that's not in the book, but it's important for you guys to understand. There are a lot of words in our industry that you, up until today, have been using incorrectly. We will correct that today and out throughout this course. Here is the first example. There is a difference between a lender and a mortgage broker. A lender is the person who literally puts their hand in the pocket and takes the money out and loans it to the home buyer. A mortgage broker, see the word broker, is nothing more than what we do, but they do it between lenders and people that need to borrow money. They broker that concept. So let me give you an example. Fifth Third Bank's a lender. You want to get a loan? You can walk into Fifth Third, fill out the application, and they will lend you money. They are the lender in that deal. All right? Well, let's say you walk into Fifth Third and you fill out the application, and they go, oh, sorry, we don't do jumbo loans or FHA, or I'm just making stuff up. We can't do your loan. You have to go somewhere else. So you walk across the street to Nat City, fill out another application, go through the process, and they go, oh, you know what? We don't do that loan either. Sorry. So you go, oh, crap. Walk across the street to Bank of America and fill out another application. Or you could take one application to a mortgage broker who has affiliations with Nat City and Third and Bank of America and Wells Fargo and all of those, and you write one application to him, and he goes, I will find you the best deal, just like real estate brokers find your buyer the best house. They will do the same thing. What's your client? Oh, and we'll talk all about this more in the financing chapter. What's your client? Oh, he's got a low credit score, he's got low income. Okay, we need to go FHA, which means I got to go over here, I can't go over there. And he gets paid to do that, just like we get paid to find houses for our buyers. We're a real estate broker. He's a real estate mortgage broker. Theoretically, think of the analogy. Can a buyer go straight to a house and buy the house from the seller? Yeah, it's called a for sale by owner, right? It happens. Just like a buyer that needs to borrow money can go straight to the bank and borrow the money. But in order to save time and effort and all that, they may come to a realtor and go, hey, I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Now you go find me stuff. I got to go to work. Same thing with a mortgage guy. Goes into a mortgage guy and goes, here's my credit score. Here's how much cash I go. You go find me something. I got to go to work. And the mortgage broker. So be careful from here on out. Are they a lender or are they a mortgage broker? Got it? Now, to be more confusing, there are some companies that are both. Hallmark Home Mortgage is a lender, and they are a mortgage broker. It just depends on how the client is. If the client that needs money is a strong client, 800 credit score, 50,000 in the bank, I want to borrow this, they may be the lender where they put their hand in their pocket and loan their own money. If it's somebody that says, I need an FHA loan, they will then broker it to another source. So some of them could be a lender, some of them could be both. All right? So just keep that in mind when someone says, well, I need to find a lender or I need to find a mortgage broker. So when your client tells you that, that's what now you got to start translating from uneducated about real estate to educated. When they say, I need to get some money. Okay, what do you want? Well, here's so-and-so. Well, let's find a broker, mortgage broker, who will help you out and find the best deal for you. I prefer mortgage brokers over lenders. There's a lot of reasons why. Most notably, he's getting paid based on the sale, so he's got an impetus to actually do some work. I want him to do some work, okay? Because we all would get paid. It's also good that if you do like my brokerage that has a bunch of agents, we deal with 1 or 2 mortgage brokers, and I hate to say this on a recording, but I'm going to. That gives us leverage. I mean, I know Jake's home phone number. I know where Jake lives. I know all of that. If something goes wrong, I can reach out and find Jake. I can't find that loan officer at Fifth Third Bank at Friday at 5:02 p.m. that left early for the weekend because I do so much with Jake. When I call Jake, he'll answer. And he has answered at 11 o'clock on a Saturday night before when, you know, the old proverbial fit hits the shan. I'll give you a minute. All right? So now to do this, they have to have a license called a loan originator's license, or an LO, you hear them called. Loan officer, loan originator, all of those. Subdivision and development. I want you to add the word builder to that. Subdivider, developer, and builder. These 3 people are construed as one person, and they are unlicensed as far as we're concerned. They don't need a real estate license to do any of those 3 things. All right? Subdivider, developer, builder. Are we familiar with what each one of those do? A subdivider is a guy that buys the 100-acre farm from the farmer and has it plotted out into 1-acre lots. He subdivided that land. He then turns around and sells that subdivision to a developer who goes in and develops it. Puts the sidewalk in, puts the roads in, puts the street lights in, creates the lots. He then sells a lot to a builder like Michael Duke, who then builds a home and sells it to the consumer. All right? The lower the price point on the house, typically those 3 people are the same person, like Davis Homes or CP Morgan or Dura or any of those tract builders. They'll go in and buy the land, they'll develop it, they'll build the homes, and then they'll sell them. typically the higher the price point of the house goes, the more apt they are different people, because when you're building $900,000 or $1 million homes, you can't afford to buy 40 or 50 lots at a time. You buy one, sell a house, buy another one. My favorite example is Kensington Grove, right down here. Ron Wampler, Michael Duke, there's another guy in there. But they're all $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 homes, so they're developed by somebody completely different. But as far as we're concerned, they are unlicensed people, all right?